Yo, what's up, guys? 1 second. Okay, I hope my mic's better. But what's up? Welcome back. Another day, another video. Yeah, today we're starting the 2D engine. So, a big milestone today. People might ask, well, Max, like, do you know how to build this 2D engine? Sometimes, parts of it, but I'm gonna be a little lost the entire time. But I'm doing research and obviously figuring out what's the best way to implement these things is kind of what really this series is gonna be about. So, but yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a learning process for me and other people that kind of tag along, and we're gonna kind of see. We're gonna aim for something simple. I have laid it out, but honestly, I think it's on my Linux boot. But I'll probably talk more of that next episode. But the first thing we're gonna be implementing today is gonna be implementing some logging. I feel like that's pretty important to be able to debug better and do whatever. But I ended up calling the project Max Vitch. It's a little bit of a combination between my first name and my last name. So, I think we're going to go with Max Vitch, but I kind of pretty much have a simple entry point here for the game engine, and then obviously a sandbox project over here for a game. So, yeah, that's the goal. Probably watch some YouTube videos, probably do a little bit of research about the best way, to kind of implement the logger and, to do whatever. So we'll probably use the library. I'm not really 100% sure which one yet, but, that's something we're going to look at today. I'm a little tired. It's been a pretty long week. I'm not going to lie. Pretty exhausted, but, so this might be a little bit of a short stream, but, we'll make some progress either way. I might continue working on it later tonight. I just think I'm going to lie down and probably chill out, watch some movies or something. But we can get started with our problem of the day first, before we get started. SPD log. Let's go. I think I was looking at that one, actually. Cool. Yeah, I think... By the way, what's up, Ethan? Appreciate you joining. But yeah, I think I was looking at this one the other day. I'm not sure. I think I was, but yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be I'm only gonna be writing for Windows, so only Windows support. I'm not gonna make this too overcomplicated or anything, but something simple to build a 2D game from. And maybe we might do something different, maybe like a small pixel game or something, or I don't know. I haven't really thought about it yet, but first of all, we're going to build that simple engine. But what is SPD log about? This is just a login library. But yeah, we're going to take a look at this problem really quick. Hopefully it's not too bad, but we're in unique paths on an infinitely long road. The car's number 0 to n-1 from left to right. And each car is present at a unique point. Okay. Let's figure this out. You're given a 0 index string directions. As length and directions I can be the L, R, S, denoting whether the ith car is moving left, right, or staying at the current point respectively. Each car has the same speed. Okay. Number of collisions can be calculated as follows. When two cars moving in an opposite direction collide with each other, the number of collisions increases by 2. When a moving car collides with a stationary car, the number of collisions increases by 1. Cool. When I start thinking about all these, I'm kind of leaning towards a stack here. That's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. But after a collision, the cars involved can no longer move and will stay at the point where they collided. Other than that, cars cannot change their state or direction of motion. So what are we given here? We're given a string directions. There are n cars. Okay. There are n cars on an infinitely long road. The cars are numbered 0 to n minus 1 from left to right, and each car is present at the unique point. Oh my god, dude. You're given a 0 index race string directions of length n. Okay, so n, so the length of this is the amount of cars we have. Directions I can be either this, then anywhere the ith car is moving towards the left, towards the right, or staying at its current point respectively. Each moving car has the same speed. Okay. Cars 0 and 1 will collide with each other. Because, what, 0 has gone right, this one's gone left, so that's going to be 2. Cars 2 and 3 will collide with each other, since car 3 is stationary. 0, 1, oh, S is that stationary? Is that what it is? Okay, left, right, staying. Okay. Stationary. Okay, so this is kind of giving it away. I think it is a stack. That's what we have to do here. Cars 2 and 3, since car 3 is stationary, the number of collisions becomes 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Cars 3 and 4 will collide with each other. Where's 3 and 4? 0, 1, 2, 3. Left and stationary. Two plus 1 is equal to 3. Car 2 and 3, 0, 1, 2. So we got right, stationary, left. Cars 4 and 5 will collide with each other after car. So what do we got? Cars 4 and 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So cars 4. Let's play some music too. After 4 collisions with car 3, it will stay at the point of collision. What should we play? What should we play? Alright. Cars 4 and 5 will collide with each other. After car 4 collides with car 3, it will stay at the point of collision and get hit by car 5. Okay, now it's getting a little confusing. So we have 4 and 5. Cars 4 and 5 will collide with each other after car 4, right, collides with the stationary one. After car 4 collides with car 3, it will stay at the point of collision and get hit by car 5. The number of collisions becomes 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Thus, the total number of collisions that will happen on the road is 5. Okay. Just from the wording of the problem, I have a feeling this is a stack problem. I'm sure there's many other ways that you can solve it too, but I have a feeling the best approach here is probably to use a stack. Trying to think what we want to do here. How we want to simulate this. Let's think about it, right? So let's make a private section here. We can make a stood stack of what char. You can just call it stack, right? How do we want to do this? I think to begin with, right, we need to append to our stack. So, hang on, let's just look up stood stack. Let's take a look here. T-top push, so it's push. Okay, so stack.push. Let's do directions 0, right? So we start with our first element, then we loop 0 is less than directions dot size. Actually, we need to start from 1, but let's stack dot. Oh shit! Whoops. What happened there? Let's start this off at 1. Then we can stack.push. We start off at 1, we need to compare, right? So let's think about this, right? We start off at right. we're also going to have a bunch of different things that we're going to compare with, right? So we're going to have to do, well, if let's think about it. Well, if stack dot, let's make sure it's not empty, right? And how do you access the topmost value? As a const value, okay. And stack dot top. Some reason I have a feeling we have to think about direction too, because S is here, but what if we started with S and we had right? Yeah, what I'm trying to say is we have to think about direction here too, so let's think about it, right? Let's think about all the different things we could have, right? We could have like left, right, which is one that we need to take care of. No, sorry, not left, right, right, left, right? We need to take care of stay left, right? We need to take care of right, stay. I think that's it, right? Those are the only ones we need to take care of. Right, left, S left, right, S, right? This one would obviously be 2. Right, this one would be 1. Sorry, this one would be 2. This one would be 1 as well. I think those are really the only ones we need to think of. Alright, I mean, there could be more. But in terms of the direction, let's kind of start with that. I think we're kind of thinking about the right idea, but stack.top is equal to R, and directions I is equal to 1, right? What would we do in this case here? Well, if we go right, left, 0 and 1 will collide with each other. Since they are moving in opposite directions, the number of collisions becomes 0 plus 2. So here's an important point. So after a collision, the cars involved can no longer move and will stay at the point where they collided. Other than that, cars cannot change their state or direction of motion. So really it turns into an S, right? So in this case here, what we'd have to do here is we'd have to do, well, first of all, we need our global count here. So let's have like int count is equal to 0, right? Obviously going to return our count. What we want to do here is we would go count plus or equal to 2. And then we would have to pop, right? And then we'd have to stack dot push, right, S. Right? I think we'll need an elif here, so else if our stack is no longer empty, right? And stack dot top is equal to S, and directions I is equal to left. Then what are we gonna do here, right? We are going to, well, obviously count by 1. We're going to pop from the top, and then we're going to push an S, right? I think we're gonna need one more else if. right? If our stack is not empty and the top of it is a right, and then our current direction is right, then stack.empty. Yeah, fuck this up here. Stack.empty right. We're going to count plus or equal to sorry, this is right. This should be stationary, right? Then we're going to count 1. We're going to stack.pop, and then we're going to push. We're going to push an S, right? Other than that, I believe in every other case, right? In an else case here, if there's nothing else to do, we're always just going to push onto the stack, right? Stack.push, always going to push our most recent element, right? So we would just push directions I. Because every single time, otherwise we should just push to the stack, right? Because we need to look at the most recent value, right? I think. Let's see if this gives us. Okay, so okay, so we're getting the wrong answer here. Let's kind of step through this here. So we go right first, right? So it's empty, so we would just push. So our stack has right in it. Actually, let's kind of not ChatGPT. What am I doing? Scally draw. Dude, reset my shit, dude. What the fuck? Okay. Let's think about it, right? So we're given these directions, right? We can simulate our stack here. So let's fucking simulate that shit, bro. Simulate our stack, right? So okay, so we have right here, right? We want to simulate that shit. Now we're here, right? Okay. In this case here, we're gonna run into. So look here so we can see it better. Right, we're gonna run into. Well, if our stack is not empty, it's not empty. We see our top is right, which is true in this case, right? We see a right. Then our directions is 1. Whoops, this is meant to be not that. Left. And this is right. SL, right S. Was that always like that? Unknown type R. What is going on here? Did I mess this up? I didn't even realize. Oh. Okay, so I think I was maybe right. I don't know. Nope. Okay, so we got a wrong test case here. Well, this is a annoying test case here because oh, right, in the case where oh no, we see that, right? Do we have that case where R? Yeah, if our stack.top is R and we see an S, right? Then we would just pop from the top and push an S. I feel like I'm missing one case, but I'm not really fully 100% sure exactly what I'm missing. Let's kind of take this test case here. I feel like I'm missing something, but I wish they gave more test cases, to be honest. Kind of thought, I was like, damn, bro, this is kind of too easy a little bit, but obviously I'm missing something. I must be missing a case. So I was right here. We have to handle all the collisions. Okay. So that's how we missed it. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing this with if statements. I think there needs to be a little bit more code here, and I kind of understand why. So we're gonna fix it up. So let's get rid of this, right? Do if directions I is equal to L. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. So if it's equal to L, all we want to do here is we'd have to check, okay, well, if our stack is not empty, right? And stack.top is equal to right, we would increase our count, pop from the stack, let's think about this. Pop from the stack. We can check for further, right? So we go while stack.empty and stack.top is equal to right. This technically would be an S, so we would continue counting. We continue popping, and then we can finally just add S to the stack. Stack.push S, which is, I believe, what we should do in this case. Ow. Yeah, I think that's good. We have the if here, right? Let's think about the other case that we had, right? We had R and S, right? So we'd have to do an else if here and check, okay, well, else if, what about directions I is equal to an S, right? If it's an S, then what would we do here? We would just do count plus or equal to 1, then stack.pop think about it, yeah. Also, if directions I is equal to S, count plus or equal to 1, stack.pop, right? So if we R and L No, sorry. Sorry, okay, yeah, so if we are an L, right, and we see an R, we do all this crap, right? But if we are an L and see an S, we would constantly just keep crashing into it, right? Because we wouldn't need a while. Why would we need a while? Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. And then I believe else, if it's anything else in this case here, we would just append. Stacked up pushback. Directions I, right? Okay. Alright, let's leave this as case 1. The next case here would be if we see an S, right? So, where is that if here? Oh, we fucked this up. This has to be inside this. Else if tab. Get rid of that. How's it going? It's going good, man. How are you, bro? Starting the game engine today. Well, I already started it, but gonna make some more progress. Just doing the LeetCode problem of the day. Also, any computer crashes again? Not yet, actually. What you sent me actually really helped a lot. I turned off secure boot. And because I play a lot of Battlefield, so I just turned it off. I was like, maybe it's like accessing something, because like I read up on secure boot that like, man, honestly I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think from memory it like you know, it's like really heavy on accessing like you know, some sort of memory that's not allowed, and that results in like a just an automatic blue screen. What's going, man? You were on my YouTube front page. Let's go, Wilhelm, dude. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you joining, dude. Working on just starting a game engine, but I'm doing the LeetCode problem of the day just to. It's kind of usually how I begin the streams. But yeah, appreciate you joining, bro. But yeah, it's better now. I mean, there's a chance it could fucking crash again, but I mean, hopefully it doesn't. But yeah. Okay, so we want a else if here, right? And we want our last case here where we have an S, right? So else if we see directions I is an S, then what do we want to do, right? If we see an S and it's an L, right? So let's check, right? So let's obviously check if our stack is not empty, right? And directions, sorry, the top of our stack, my bad, stack.top is equal to L, right? Good. I know the scan always helps me. Windows here lately has been bad system file corruptions. I have honestly been thinking of getting a second M2 SSD and dual booting Linux. Yeah, that's exactly what I have, bro. I honestly really like Linux. I just, honestly, bro, the only reason why again, I'm not a Linux pro or anything, so you're coming from someone that doesn't have a lot of knowledge in that, but if I could play any sort of game, you know, there's full support on Windows for gaming, you know, like I would honestly probably switch to Linux full time, like. Well, what keeps me here is because I'm a gamer, like, so it keeps me on Windows. And obviously Visual Studio 2 is nice, bro. It's only on Windows, so that's nice too. But for C++ stuff, but yeah, so we have an S and an L, right? So we check the top of the stack here. What would happen? We would increase our collisions by 1. We would pop from the stack, right? I always play games with anti-cheats, so I would just play those on Windows and all the others on Linux. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. It's just such a fucking hassle, you know, to like get a game to work. You know, on Windows, you just fucking download the game and it works, but it's like on the other ones, you always got to try and find these ways to make it work, and there's issues, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of age sometimes. Sometimes I just don't want to deal with that fucking garbage. Okay, so our directions I is S. Our stack is empty and the top of it is left. We're fucking, I'm messing this shit up. Hang on. This should be R, right? Because if we're currently looking at an S and the top is an R, right? It wouldn't work if it's a left, right? We would count, we'd pop. I think that makes sense. I think it does. So the top of our stack is an R. So this would have to be a while because we'd have to do all the cases where it's an R. We'd pop. Right. And I believe all we do here is we would just push. Stack dot push. Is it push back? I think it's push, dude. I don't know why I'm doing push back. I think we just push here. We push here. I believe we can just push directions I think. Right? This can be our case 2, right? These are the cases that we kind of thought about. In the beginning we just had ifs here, but now we got the whiles, so maybe this will solve it. Let's take a look. Okay, we're getting a compiler error. Missing a colon. Missing another fucking colon, dude. Holy shit, dude. I'm missing so many colons. I think it looks good. Let's see. Oh! I'm fucking missing something. We got 2 here. I think we're missing the else case here. Like, else we just stacked up push, right? Directions I think that's what we're missing here. Ow. Okay, I think maybe we've got to be a little bit more explicit. I feel like this should have worked, but maybe it doesn't. Let's make this explicit to what we're pushing in terms of these cases here. We have an L here. We want to push the L. Because maybe in some tests, maybe it doesn't work or something, but... Oh, still fucking missing something. What am I missing here? Alright, this is technically our case 3. Let's think about it, right? L, S, we push right. We see an L, right? That L is going to count this 2, then it's going to pop the right. We're going to get an S. Get an S. With an S, we see a right. S, we see an R. We're going to count. That's 3. We push an S. We get 2 S's. We get 2 lefts. Damn, bro. I don't know what the bug is here. We're missing something, but I don't know what. I don't know what it is. And it's hard to debug in my head. So, I don't know. I know what I'm doing is right. I mean, it seems right. The calculations here are correct that we kind of thought about. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ask Claude. I don't know, and I don't want to debug it, to be honest. I'm pretty confident that. Hang on, let me sign in with Google here. Let's debug it. Let's see what Claude says. I didn't even give it any context. I just hope it can. You should be checking stacked on top as you go to S instead. Is that it, bro? Is that all I'm missing? Oh, we got a bunch of bugs, looks like. So I've got, in case 1, where directions I is S, you should be checking stack.top as S instead. Left, stack.top is right. We would count. So this should be S. I guess that makes sense here because I'm checking the same thing. Yeah, this should be S. Is that the only thing I'm missing? Nope. Also, if directions I. Okay, yeah, I have to check that it's not empty here too. Stack.empty. And so I missed that check. I think that's correct though. And then we're checking the same thing here. So let's. Hang on, let's rethink about the logic here, right? We see a left, right? These are our cases here where we see a left and a left, right? So we see a left. If we see an R, we then blow it up, right? It's 2 collision points. We pop. We keep checking, right? If we keep seeing an R and we are left, then I believe. Is it possible that we keep seeing a left? Because then this would be +2, right? While stack.empty and stack.top is R. So we keep seeing an R and we are left. That wouldn't work, right? Can we have multiple R's? I believe we can have multiple R's. So I believe this is wrong. I believe this should be 2. Right? We see that. This keeps counting. Then eventually when we're done, we put an S. But no, but when we collide, we make an S. Eventually. So I think that's right. Else if we see an S instantly, we just count. Because we can only have one S, and then we would. I think this is the correct approach. Okay. Still getting 3 here, but we're getting. This is correct now. We're getting closer. Let's see what else Claude said was a mistake. Missing stack empty check. We did that. Logic issue. After popping S from the stack when L collides with it, you should push S. After popping S from the stack when L collides. Push S back. I didn't think it was necessary, but okay, we can push S back here. Is that what's going to cause it to work now? Oh, well, we forgot a colon. That's dope. Nope. was not our issue. Let's take a look now. Claude, please tell me what my issue is. What is my issue, bro? I don't know, dude. I don't know what's my issue. You still have the same bug. Oh, whoops. So what are we missing here? Your checking directions I is S, but directions I is always L. Damn, man. I think I'm confusing myself, dude, honestly. So it looks like what I did here, these changes here, should be 1. But why should it be 1? If it's L, the stack is empty, and the top of it is right, this should be a +2. So this is a +2. Then we pop. We check further. If the stack is still not empty, and the top of it is right, then apparently... For each additional R that hits a stationary collision only adds 1 collision, not 2. The initial RL collision is 2, but subsequent R's hitting is 1. Yeah, okay, so let's see what technically this turns to a 1. So that makes sense, right? They automatically become static collision, but we're not actually specifically adding anything here. To simplify the code, technically this turns into 1. That was my idea originally. Okay, so that makes sense. What we're missing here is so while it's empty and directions I is equal to S. So we see an L. Oh, this should be stacked on top. This should be stacked on top. That's why we're fucking it up. That's why it's not passing. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we had a stupid bug. That was our... Oh. No, now we're still missing something. RSLL. RSLL. Do I have to go through it? Maybe I just gotta push back S here. Stacked up push S. Okay. That means this is redundant here then, so I don't even think we need to do anything. Oh my god. Okay. Hopefully this passes now. Cool. There we go. Finally, we solved it. We were the slowest, but who cares? Let's see what other people did. My whole thought about this problem was instantly stack when I was reading it, so I just kind of went with that, but maybe there's obviously faster ways, so it looks like here... Dude, what the fuck? Int n, int free, for... Loop into the values, free plus or equal to int directions I is S, so he's using converting the chars into actual integers for this free, so he's adding everything up. If directions I does not equal L, break free plus plus. Wow, to be honest, I would have never thought about it this way, but that's a really smart way to do it, but okay. That's cool. I kind of simulated it, but reading the faster solution when you were slow makes me feel really dumb. Yeah. Yeah, me too, bro, honestly. I mean, this is hard to read. Like, I don't know. Maybe after more experience, I'll get better, but that's cool. Cool, we'll jump into our game engine now, but I'm curious to see the rating of this problem. I feel like the topic wasn't GitHub. What am I doing? Curious to see what this problem's rated in terms of the contest. 2 to 11. 1581. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, but okay. I'm gonna quickly turn on the light. It's gonna die. Okay, cool. Dope. What are we gonna do? So we look into this library here. So I was kind of thinking about the first feature we're gonna implement was a logging feature. So really, what we have here is we just have, a simple entry point for the game engine. I kind of took this from Cherno's entry point video because I wasn't really too sure how to kind of structure it. So I think the goal of this engine, as of right now, is obviously it's going to be something simple, right? I'm going to kind of follow Cherno's engine series and kind of learn how to, kind of follow along with the features that he's implementing. I have a list of the features that I have. I have to honestly make a little notepad to kind of show it on screen to kind of what we're going to do. But I'm going to kind of go through the features that I want and kind of begin with those features, make a list of what we're going to do, implement everything, and then, kind of follow along with Cherno's series as well, like when I get stuck about kind of how I want to implement something. So yeah, I'm going to see quickly what Cherno does here in terms of his game engine playlist. I'm curious. I can't see his source code because I have to be Patreon, and I don't have a lot of money, so can't really pay to be a Patreon. But let's take a look at his playlist. Where is it? Game engine. So I did, as you can see, I kind of watched a lot, kind of had a good idea about how to implement this. Let's take a look at the logging series. Honestly, don't even remember watching this, but maybe randomly played. So it looks like he does use SPD log 2. That's interesting. Cool. So I'm trying to think about how exactly we want to implement this. So first of all, let's take a look at kind of the documentation here and see kind of how we do it. So it looks like here we have an info, an error, a warn, critical, set level, set global log level to debug. I'm not sure kind of what exactly the level stuff is, but maybe it'll stick out a little bit. Create a color multi-threaded logger. Multi-threaded logger. Okay. Basic file logger. Okay. Rotating files, daily files, backtrace support, stopwatch, that's cool. Binary example. Interesting. So I don't really think any of this we're really going to use. I think really the only thing here we're going to use is kind of these different logs. Looks like here they're all different colors too. But yeah, is there maybe very fast headers only or compiled feature rich formatting using the excellent FMT library? Copy build tree and use a C++11 compiler. C examples, C make list, how to use. Okay, importing these libraries is kind of new to me too. Been watching Cherno do it, but this might be a good time where I figure out how to kind of do it myself. Include directory. Logger.h. So maybe there's a little bit more information to how to kind of import it. I think we should be able to just include a header file, maybe header only version. This method is simple for smaller projects with quick integration. Download SPD log, clone the SPD log repository from GitHub, or download the source code as a zip file. Copy the include folder, copy the entire include folder from the SPD log repository into your project's build tree or a location where you probably can find it. Okay, so we don't have CMake set up. That's maybe something that I want to do, but I'm honestly don't have the knowledge to be able to do that. I'm gonna have to watch a video on that, but I think we're just gonna do the header only version. So it looks like we just clone the repo from GitHub or download the source code as a zip file. So let's clone it. Is there a way we can download it? Versions, releases. Oh, source code. Okay, let's just download the source code. Cool. So we got the source code here. We need the include folder, which has everything in here. Copy the include folder into the SPD log repository into your project's build tree. So I think, oh my gosh, dude. cdev. Yeah, I don't believe we have a vendor folder. Oh my gosh, dude, what the fuck is going on here? I believe we need a vendor folder, so I believe that's something we need to create. Vendor. What SPD log? Dude, I'm so tired, man. It's been such a long day, bro. I'm not gonna lie. As a sub-module, manually copy the include folder works, but not recommended. Create a vendor SPD log directory, copy the entire include folder inside. Hey, Hama, what's up, bro? SPD log. We just copy the entire include directory in here, I guess, but let's grab this. Okay. Cool. I believe we need to do something with the project or something. As I remember, the linker. Man, I can't remember from Jono's video, honestly. I don't remember how he did it. Preprocessor? No. You know, I'm gonna take a look at his video, see how he imports.
Great, it's very C# style, which is like really good, and I really like. Kind of keeps.
Progressive Commercial Insurance offers affordable small business protection. You can receive discounts on commercial auto insurance for safe driving and paying in full.
Well, I don't think university's gonna teach you how to build cool stuff. I would recommend just jumping on YouTube, bro, and just looking at videos that you're interested in. Look at things you're interested in, and just learn them, bro. I mean, you're like. Anyone in the world can learn anything on their computer nowadays. You know, you can learn anything you want. Languages, you know, literally anything. How to ride a bike, how to do whatever you want is all on YouTube. So it's like, just find free resources on YouTube and just start making stuff. You know, that's what I would recommend. So.
Yeah, kind of code intact. The reason that's basically kind of.
You can see I'm watching a YouTube video right now, bro.
Or what I'm going to do is actually add it as a sub-module to our the file into our directory. Things that we could do. We could just clone or download this. Just download a zip file and unzip it into our directory. We could clone this into its own directory and then copy the files. Or what I'm going to do is actually add it as a submodule to our Hazel repository. So what this means is that we don't actually kind of have the code base in our code base. It's basically we're referencing an existing Git repository somewhere else that's kind of at a remote address. And then when we actually clone Hazel and we say also clone all the submodules, it clones that. And the reason that that's kind of useful is because it kind of keeps their kind of code intact, as well as lets us kind of easily kind of update to new code changes from their repository without kind of having to do anything manually. We can just...
Good work. Keep it up, bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. Oh, what the fuck is this? I'm just going to try and include it because I don't really want to add it as a submodule. I don't think it's that necessary. Maybe it should be a good idea, but let's see if we can just like include it. Let's like make a maybe like a logo.h or something. Maybe like a, I don't know, we can add both for now, like a C++ file, logo.cpp. Let's try just including it. Include, it's a library, so okay, so my vendor, what's the directory I'm in? Let's go dev, axfish, vendor, spd log, include spd. Right, okay, this needs to change for sure, but I think it says here spidlog.h. Okay, so that needs to change. Obviously this include statement can't be that long, so this is, I know this is something SPDlog is added as a module. I don't want to add it as a module, to be honest with it. Your project relative include path. I'm not familiar with this in C++. I haven't done this by myself yet, so C++ general. Okay, it's not preprocessor, I know that. Is it the linker? No. Target name, project name. Yeah, I'm just gonna ask AI where I can do this. Where can I do this in Visual Studio 22? Project settings, right click properties, additional include directories. Right click properties, C++ general. Okay, that's where we're in. Additional include directories. Does anyone see that? Dude, I don't even see that. What is this talking about? Additional include directories. Bro, what the fuck? Right click properties. Make sure you click the project, not the solution. Okay, so I'm clicking the project. Did they change it recently? How to add additional directories, Visual Studio 22. It's like properties. Navigate to C++ general settings in the project properties page. Dialog expand configuration properties. Dude, I have no idea what is going on right now. Literally no idea. Project name. No, dude, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know. External includes? Oh, C++. Okay. General. So this is where I went wrong. Additional include directories. Okay. So we found it. Okay, so for this, let's do project directory vendor. Project directory. What if we just did project directory? Let's see. Vendor slash spidlog. Dude, what the fuck? Spidlog slash include spidlog.h. Okay, I think this should work here now. Let's take a look at a example. Spidlog info. Let's just copy this line. Welcome to spidlog. I think it should be fine. Let's kind of see how we do it. Okay, so I think we probably want probably want some macros. Multi-sync logging. Okay, let's start with our logger.h. So let's grab this. We'll leave this for now. Let's include this, right? Let's grab this include here as well. Hashtag include includes we need vendor slash spidlog. Whoops, not this, not this. Counter open source file. Oh, we're missing the slash include. vendor slash bidlog slash include slash spidlog slash spidlog slash there we no, it's still not working. What am I missing here? So they need to go spidlog, okay, slash sinks slash stood out color sinks. Stood out color sinks dot h. Yeah, okay. So we can call this fuck. Call this class logger public private. We probably want some like macros, right, at some point. Put that inside a namespace. XFH. Okay, cool. Now the question is, what should I put? I don't know. I don't know. So let's see what they're doing here. Change log pattern. Create a stood out logger object. Auto console stood out color MT console. So I think this is probably what we want to do. We probably want to create some logger objects. Not familiar with what this is. Basic logger? Basic file logger. Do they have an example? Example.cpp. Create color multi-threaded logger. So this is I think this is stood out color multi-threaded. I don't really want that. Maybe I do. I don't know. Create a daily logger, a new file created every day at 2:30 a.m. Okay. Basic logger. Create a basic file logger. So this is, we don't want any of this. We just want a basic console logger. So maybe this is the way to go. I don't know. Maybe I can find some examples. Spidlog. So maybe we just have to make a pointer to this. Logger pools. Okay. So maybe static. I don't think this wants to be a unique pointer, right? Because we'd probably need to create this in multiple different areas, right? So Allocate some memory. Supposed to enforce the object, yeah. One owner. Static. Okay. Static. Stood. Shed pointer. Stood. Logger. Does that exist? Stood. No, not stood logger. Wait, hang on. What is it? Spud log. Log. What is it on Google? Spud log. Logger. I'm just going to include this other stuff too, because I'm not sure. Vendor / spreadlog / include / spreadlog. This needs to be fixed still. Sync / basic. Let's go file sync.h. Logger? No. Maybe they changed it to log. Argument for variable template. Spudlog is missing. Is this using Trend tutorial? I recall him using Spudlog in his engine. Yeah, I'm doing, yeah, so he does use Spudlog. I just looked at that, but trying to figure out how this is like implemented. I'm trying to like kind of do my own kind of stuff until I kind of watch his video and stuff. See what the best way is. But yeah. I found out that it uses Spudlog too. My friend showed me it, so he was like, you should use this. I was like, okay. Like yeah, so let's just take this. Where is it? Order logger. Oh wait, this is the logger pools. We don't want this. Wait, hang on. Create a logger with multiple syncs, console and file. That's awesome, lol. I sort of did the same thing. I followed Trend tutorial for like the first 10 episodes and completely branched out to my own first thing. Yeah. To be honest, I really honestly have no idea what I'm doing in terms of, well, I have an idea. That's actually a lie, but you know, just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do is a tough part. So maybe we want a file sync. I don't know. I'm trying to think. So I think we want, oh, I think about it. Ooh, whoops. I think we want the, which one was it again, dude? Oh my gosh. Sort out color MT console. Color underscore Search up console. I think we want this one. This is kind of what we want here. That's real. It's good to know what you're doing early on so you don't have to redo everything, LMAO. Yeah, this is my first time ever building I'm building a very simple, very simple, a simple enough game engine to build a 2D game in OpenGL from. That's the goal. So, M underscore core logo. I don't know why I'm getting this error here. Is it spud logger? Basic logger underscore MT? Color MT? Is this what it is? Nope. Good luck, dude. I've made a few engines before. If you're really looking for simplicity and just making things work, I'd recommend checking out STO, but if you're comfortable with OpenGL, then that's okay. Yeah, I am comfortable with OpenGL. I've kind of looked through Cheno's series. Ah, shit, my leg. So I have a good idea. So that's the goal, but yeah, I just don't really know what to include here, to be honest. I don't really know what the type should be. Let's just see what he did in this thing.
Just update. Inside and copy for this project.
Are we ready for this party?
Dude.
Guests are on their way, and food and drinks were just delivered.
Nope.
This is kind of like we put minimum, which kind of wraps a lot of SP.
Hang on, let's actually listen to this part.
Yeah, Hazel own wrapper for it. So now at this point, we could just kind of use SPD log as SPD log, but we obviously don't want to kind of have like SPD log or whatever stuff in our actual client game, right? This is the Hazel engine. We should have Hazel log or something like that. That's important for a number of reasons. First of all, I want to change the API. I don't want it to look like their API because their API is actually quite verbose. We want something really simple. This is a log. This is kind of like a logging system for an engine. So really this should be macrofied as kind of like a global macro that we can use per log level or something like that. We don't want to have to like start dealing with namespaces or having like long kind of strings of text. This is like completely unnecessary. But also, if further down the line we decide to replace this logging library with another log library, we should be able to hot swap that kind of out without actually having to change any client code, because we want our game code, like when people use the Hazel engine and start doing things like logging a message, and like if we decide to change something internally, we don't want them to have to go through their code base and kind of change the API that they've been using because we've decided to change something. As minimal breaking changes as possible is what we kind of want. So because of that, we're going to create a log class which kind of wraps a lot of SPD logs functionality and just ends up calling kind of static functions, I guess, that will then forward kind of arguments or whatever to SPD logs. So we're basically just creating a wrapper. Let's just go ahead and do that. So over here, under Hazel, I'm going to right click, hit add, new item. We're going to just create a class and we're going to call it log. Okay, we're going to have log.h, log.cpp, hit OK, and there we have our log class. So I'm going to type in namespace Hazel. This is going to be class Hazel API log. We'll include core.h. Now this has probably made it in the wrong place. Let's just move this into the Hazel folder here. Okay, so we've got core.h, We're going to go into log.cpp and in the same. Now we need to really just implement it. There's probably some has quite a nice example that we're going to kind of steal some code from. You can see that we create a new console by just kind of creating this kind of multi-threaded console. We give it a name, and that name's going to be important later as well, because it's going to kind of be appended to the beginning. What to do is actually one core, I guess, and one which will actually be kind of our app, I guess, console. And we're going to obviously abstract all this away so that it's a lot nicer than having to call like member functions like this here to set, like, I guess, like a format for how all log messages will kind of get printed. So let's go ahead and do that. And then shared pointer, I think it's SPD log, sp like logger or something like that. Yep.
Bro, I don't have logger, bro. What is going on here? SPD logger. Bro, what is happening here? This is not a type name. SPD logger. Dude, mine doesn't work, bro. What the fuck? What does it include? SPD log.h. It's literally what I did, bro. What the fuck, bro? Why is this all like got errors, bro? What the fuck? Bruh, everything's got errors. I don't know why. Let's check something. CD. I don't know why this is all got errors in it. I'm not sure. I thought I included it properly, but maybe I didn't. Logger.cpp. Let's see why this is not working, because I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, I think I know why, bro. Dude, is it this? This is memory, because this is a core library. This is... Bro, if this is the issue, I'm gonna be so pissed. I think this might be the issue. Oh my gosh, that was the issue. Whoops. Okay, wait, no it's not. Spid logger is still not a type name. Spid log SPD log. Log. So maybe we need hashtag include vendor. Oh my gosh, dude. Spid log include spid log logger.h. So does that work? Okay. He's using a shared pointer too. This type is missing. Int assume namespace SE has no memory shared pointer. Max feature underscore API logger. What did I call it here? Max feature underscore API. Why does it not like this? I have to include, whoops, include what.h. Man, I always forget to include, like, okay. So why is shared pointer now not working? He includes memory? No. Oh, whoops.
SPD logger. We'll have our make here, and then we'll also have our client logger. Client logger. Which, as you can imagine, are just going to end up being S core logger and S client logger. Also include memory.h or just memory, so that we can use shared pointers. Okay, cool. So there we go. We've got two kind of loggers.
Could this be a Visual Studio bug? I don't know. I'm gonna score core logger. Does it need to be inline or? I don't know. Underscore app logger. It's not a member variable, I guess. S underscore call logger. That's fine. And we can add this to client. I just don't know why this is not working. Why? Belongs to the class, not any instance. Shared by the entire engine. Okay. So let's go. Actually, no, we'll leave it. I don't know why this is not. Hashtag include logo.h. Static stood shed pointer spud logger get call logger, and we just return s underscore call logger. Static stood shed pointer spud log, whoops, logger get client logger. We return that s underscore client logger. I still don't know why this. Oh shit. Oh my god, that's my issue. Jesus, dude. It's not liking this again. It's not a type name. Bro, what are you talking about? Logger.
Is set up here and my actual translation unit here. So we'll say log core logger and log client logger. That
I still don't know why this is not working, bro. It's kind of pissing me off. Here's an init function. Probably should add that. Logger. Whoops, we are logger. 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 Logger.h. Still doesn't like this. Bro, please tell me why, bro. I don't know what I'm doing. What's wrong? Let's take a look here. Still not liking. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? I'm literally lost at why this doesn't recognize this as a type. So maybe... What is in this include directory? Dude, I'm lost. I don't know why this isn't including it. Yo, a 2D engine, that's sick. Yeah, that's the goal, man. That's the goal. It'll take a while. I'm literally not understanding why this is not including this library, bro, because it kind of pissed me off, but because I don't understand what's wrong. I'm getting these errors here, and I don't know why.
Just log in our actual.
So apparently these require a stood shared pointer. I'm not familiar with this. I see logo HS issues. Bro, now I'm getting... See, when you add stood, though, it doesn't even fucking do anything. And now I'm getting errors over here. Like, you're supposed to type is missing, antecedent, namespace SD. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Bill. So it's my include that's fucking up, dude. It's literally my include. I might have to debug this off stream and figure it out, but does it compile? Because sometimes VS22 flags as errors, but it compiles because updated on from the libs. No, it doesn't compile. It's something to do with my include. I have to go into it a little more. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here just because I'm fucking starving. I'm gonna grab some food. I'm gonna try and implement this off camera, and we're gonna keep going with it tomorrow. So that's the goal. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, so we'll keep. I just need to figure out this this library error. It's pissed me off, so I get some food. So appreciate you guys watching, dude. Peace.